Welcome back. Welcome back. Today, we found a cat. So we're going to take it out of the bag. Let's go! But first, we're going to warm you up
That woman
with the Godfather.
would have gone on and on. She had once stopped to say thank you for all your help. I know you got a show to run on. See, that's that only child. Daddy can't have a cookie. 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 Daddy can't. She would have never stopped. And I need you guys to ask yourself. I know what she looks like. She's average. And I'm not going to put her up there, but I need you to ask. When she had average men in her life, she always thought that she should have had different. They weren't on her level. Not ready to bring kids into. If you were an average friend, they weren't on her level. Not ready to bring kids into. If you were an average woman, and there's average guys out there, do you think average guys are going to want to be subjected to that? Why does all this have import? Because women in the danger zone want above average. Women in the danger zone tend to want above average men. And I will tell you, guys over here, the high value guys, no. Not going to put up with that, not going to deal with that. Not at all. Not at all, not.
So what's that mean, fellas? And ladies that's listening? That means back to Averageville. And that means, the same guys you dissed will be the only men that, kind of is going to want to take you, because the high earners, they don't want you. Or they don't even see you. There's like so many sea of women.
Not at all. But no, I would tell you what, lady said, so she said I was rude. See, what you get with a lot of these women is you don't have a lot of women who are used to having a guy speak to, hear a man speak.
The truth.
But if you listen, and that woman, if you're a big head, on that same show, I had a woman call into my show who called in last week, who I checked her on some stuff too. And what did she call in last week? Say, Kevin, I just got to tell you, last week you told me I'm a feminist. Call back into my show the next day. So I'm going to go ahead and let you back in, because that woman joined my channel. She joined my channel. Shut up talking in the chat room. Get on the chat. Now I'm going to tell you, shut it. You can get on the show. I don't want to hear you type in the chat room anymore. You can get on the show. Because when you say I'm rude, you're going to have to justify that.
Yeah.
I don't play that mess. Too many women just like to throw stuff around. Words mean things.
Yeah.
So make sure you have your husband with you. If you're gonna tell me you got a husband, make sure he's there, cam ready.
No need to lie.
Tell me you're telling average women that they can't get high value men, and I know plenty of rich men or high value men, and when it turns out that she ain't married, don't know none, ain't got nothing for them. Funny to me. So come on, let's get the likes up, man. We are 2,000 people in here. And, I'm not going. Yeah, the truth is always rude to black women. Thank you. Can we get the likes up, people?
Sex is how your husband feels loved and respected. Your husband is
Sound the horns.
not a woman. He is a man. And sex is incredibly important to a man, and it's where we miss each other and just go totally different ways as husband and wives. But if you ask him, a good man, what are the top 3 things that are most important to him in a marriage and in a relationship, sex is going to be number 1, if not number 1, 2, or 3. If you ask a woman, you'd ask a woman, what are your top 10 most important things to you in a marriage or a relationship? Sex might not even make the list.
She's probably gonna name a bunch of shit he has to do. Time to let that cat out of the bag.
The secret we never wanted revealed as women is that as women, we have.
If your man's in the room with you, tell him to leave. If your wife's in a room with you or your girlfriend, you shouldn't watch this with them. This might change things. Unless you have a good relationship. I'm not here to do bad things. I'm here to make people aware of the truth. So, and prove my father's right.
A switch, like a light switch. The secret we never wanted revealed as women is that as women, we have a switch, like a light switch, with sex. And it is either off or it is on. And we all know we have this switch and that we have the capacity and the choice to turn it on and off when we want to. And as women, when we were single, we had the switch on for bad boys and we had the switch off for good men until we were ready to settle down and get married and start a family. And so good men can know if you struggled to get women when you were younger and before you were married, or if you're watching and you're single, this will shed some light for you too. If you didn't have a lot of women until you met your wife, it's because she had her switched off. And then when she was ready to settle down, she turned it on, and she used the on switch with sex to trap you to get what she wanted, which was to get married. And so when we're ready to get married, our biological clock is ticking. We get a good man and we enjoy sex. We want to have plenty of sex. And then we get what we want. We get married and the sex stops.
Hey guys, it's your girl Melanie, and I'm back again with another commentary on the night for Chad and Tyrone. And you're gonna say this all the time, that modern dating, that the Western woman is now basically a lady of the night for Chad and Tyrone. And I've yet to be proven incorrect about this. When women are finally wanting the nice guy, the good guy, and you're getting sex from her, it is because she's hit the wall, her clock, or she's approaching the wall. She's ready to settle down. Her feelings have been hurt by Chad and Tyrone too much. She's tired of getting ran through. But make no mistake, basically, that is just a bait and switch. And this is why a lot of men see sex diminish in their marriage. Now, it's not always the case. I will say that. It's not always the case that she was super promiscuous and that you were just, the Mr. Nice Guy to come clean it up. That's not always the case, because there's even some guys who are like Chads or Tyrones or bad boys who have gotten married. I've done counseling.
Some women just, the ones that aren't running around getting plowed through, they don't know about sex. So, or could be a medical or trauma, or, it's always something.
Sessions with them, that they actually got married and then the woman switches on them. I think overall, women they think sex is just to get a man. It's for when they want to have fun when they're single. But now that you have him, well, he doesn't need that anymore. He loves me. And women trade those two out. But anyway.
No. Women understand eventually that sex is like drugs for men. And if I get them hooked, I can treat him like a crackhead, and that's it. Sound the horns.
Let's continue with this.
And the sex becomes unimportant, and like I said, it becomes infrequent, and all of a sudden the amount of sex you were having before you got married begins to dwindle and dwindle and dwindle, because it was a trap. It was a trap to get what we wanted. My mentor,
Let me just say this really quickly. Now, I do not believe women consciously know this. I don't believe women operate on a high enough state of consciousness, or
Not all of them, but, once you get older and, see other people do it, you talk about it and plan and scheme.
or even their IQ levels. So the average woman cannot even work this out. It's like they're on auto behavior, and they've been programmed by Western society, by feminism, by the sexual liberation, that this is okay. This isn't how women are naturally are. This is not who a feminine woman is in her true natural state, untouched, unscathed, unpoisoned by feminism behaves. But this is what.
Now, my father kind of said, if you give yourself away and become promiscuous, that you would shame yourself, and that shame would follow you. Now, they don't go into details of what all these things are, but you know what they are now. Most of women that are older, or some women that are actually looking around. What you don't understand is the science behind it. The Lord said not to run around when you're younger, because men and women, when you're older, you still want to have sex. You get it? So if you run around blowing yourself out, getting blown out, and your chemicals and your vagina and all these things are being used up, then you go, oh shit, I can't secure my life like this, and I want to have a baby. I'm gonna rope this guy in. Those days are like almost over. Like, you don't get it. Men are just divorcing yous now, or just not getting married because yous wait so long. See, it's always been like this. Nothing's new under the sun. It's always been like this. And men have always known you use us. You know why? Because we use you. You know why? Because that's the fucking way it works. One hand washes the other, and both wash the face. Meaning, to get the face wash, the job done, life successful, be happy in certain things, you gotta use both hands. Now, women and men have played this charade game of denying my father of his truth. And now, we're at the point of where people literally, majority of men and women, are playing this game. And while all the men play the game of trying to chase you while they're young, they waste their opportunities to do anything, save money, have somewhere to be, right? Blowing their money on you. Then you discard them like trash because they think they're fucking Chad and Playboy and I'm in control. You're being used. And you're going to be thrown away like toilet paper. Just as you throw them around like toilet paper. See, they take the toilet paper treatment majority of the time. And then they get onto the scheme and go, oh, this is what's going on. Alright, I'm going to do this nigga really dirty. And then I'm going to go fuck his best friend that's got a job. You get it? But how is this fair for the average guy? Like, like Kev said in the beginning, the high value men, and they have all the picks in the world. Yous are throwing it around like anything. So they can continue to keep on getting women anytime they want. And then pick whatever one they want to be their wife. And more than likely, they're going to be younger. You get it? That's why you can't waste yourselves when you're young. Because, one, while you're fucking and all this other stuff, you're in your prime. And you could have got with Superman that you wanted. But then you passed your prime, or he's watching you run around getting every Tom, Dick, and Harry. And he's like, nah, she, never mind. Now we're in a new world where men, you know, Kevs, all these other guys, me's, and all the countless other men that have gone through it or have told their stories or whatever, right? And as we wake up, we're going to adopt the same nature as a high value man. Why? Because you get older at a large rate of women at the same time, right? So that means when you want to stop fucking with Tyrone and Chatty Boy over there, you're going to be by the truckloads for us now. And then what do? We pick just like the fucking rich guy did. Except a lot of these dudes don't have training, so, you know, they're beating their head as soon as they even touch you. But, you know, all these things online now, and, you know, the beating the head's not going to work. The sex game and throwing it on them might work. You might make them slip up, have a baby, and all that other stuff. But is it even worth it? You're going to marry a man you don't even want to be with. You're going to do exactly what this woman says and saying. You're going to stop having sex with him because you never wanted to be with him anyway. You only been having sex with him from the first time to the last time because it was going to hook him like drugs, and he's unexperienced, and, you know, it's like crack. You can give it to him once a week, and he's going to, you know, be like a little doggy with his treat, and he's done. How is that fair? Why not be a grown-up, find an average man and say, hey, I'm fucking the hottest woman your ugly ass is probably ever gonna get. You know, don't wait until you're 40. You know? And then say, I don't really want to be with you, but I know you want to be with me. I want to have a baby. You got a good job. So what's gonna happen here is we're gonna have a whole bunch of sex until we get married, and I'm gonna do you like Al Bundy and all them other old chicks from back in the day. But I read this thing in the Bible, and I think I want to listen to it now because it makes sense to me now. You can have a concubine. Go get one of these little bitches. Go pick one of them out, and you're gonna wife her up, and you're gonna bring her in here. And I'm gonna do my little thing. She's doing chores and everything because I'm Big Mama, and I'm gonna raise these kids. And you're gonna blow her back out. And I'm gonna, you know, do things on the side every now and again when I feel like it. Because that's what older women do when they blow their sex drive out at 30 years old. They don't want to have sex when they're older. But if they watching their man blowing out that young stallion woman, oh, they get horny off that, or, you know what I mean? Like, yous are always going to want to have sex eventually. But you know you don't want to have sex with him. And you know no man is going to be like, oh yeah, you can go cheat. Well, you know, some won't, but, you know. Men ain't having that. You go off and you're out the game. You only got married so you can retire out the game. So retire out the game, give him his kids and his trophy, and you sit in the castle and you do what you do best. Nothing.
What has become the Western woman. This is what's become her programming. So saying the modern Western woman is narcissistic. I don't know if she's to get what she wants. So there is a level of consciousness, but
Yes.
not to the degree that the modern Western woman is just not that smart, guys. They just aren't.
They're fucking geniuses when it comes to being bad. but cannot even fucking see how telling the truth in the way they're bad and be like, listen, majority of these niggas is desperate. I seen niggas fucking give women money my whole life. And you know what? I think I'm just gonna go up to one of these guys and be like, listen, I'm the best you're ever gonna get. I'm gonna you like you've never been for 5 good years. And after that, you're done. You're gonna marry me. And like, keep it real with a nigga. Because, you know, all the thousands and millions of other men that went through this shit anyway and stayed 20, 15 years in a once a month having sex marriage or none at all, you know, those guys kind of prove that men are going to put up with the once in a while having sex with you. But that once in a while is not going to, it's going to drive him crazy and, you know, he's going to cheat. This is why men cheat. So many married men don't get sex and then you just complain, I'm divorcing, he cheated. Well, what the fuck do you think he cheated for?
In my opinion.
Shared with me what he calls the penny analogy. That if you put a penny in a jar for every time you had sex before you got married, and then you took a penny after you got married, you took a penny out for every time you have sex once you're married, you would never empty the jar.
Damn.
And that's the sad reality of sex with your wife, is that she used sex to get married, and once she trapped you, there was no reason for sex anymore. The sad fact is that...
Sorry, not just to trap you, but the other reason for sex is when she wants to try for children.
...is being a sperm donor and for financial security.
Damn.
Facade of being into you, of being passionate about you, of loving you, and can't wait to get together to be with you. That facade drops because we got what we wanted. And for most of us as women, when we become disinterested in sex and we stop having sex, we will hold on enough to string you along. So that's where we'll have sex once a month or twice a month, and we'll string you along for that financial security and or for...
Let me just say, if even that.
You just got home from work.
Having children. And that was sadly my experience, that when my husband and I met, sex was great. I had plenty of it. I enjoyed it. He enjoyed it. We had fun together. And then once I knew I had him, the switch turned off. I put walls up. I didn't want to get undressed around him anymore. If he came in and he tried to hug me, I would jerk away. And I had all kinds of stories built up about why I was doing this. I denied to myself the real reasons why, which is what most of us as women do. And there was nothing he was going to be able to do to turn that switch back on. And I didn't withdraw it or withhold it completely, but we would have it maybe every other week. And women listening who are open-minded and want to know these things for yourself, you'll know that we have this mental calendar where it's like, okay, I had it. And then we are like, okay, that'll probably buy me a week or two. And then that time starts running out and we start building this anxiety of when we're going to need to engage with sex again to give just enough to make it seem okay and just enough to keep getting what we want. But by that point, our switch is off and the switch never goes back on. And we let our stories and our games begin of why we don't want to have sex anymore. And the sad part is that a good man falls for all those stories and all those excuses.
It's called the Jedi mind trick.
Of why we don't want to have sex anymore. And I had a myriad of them. And it's fascinating how those stories begin. Where in the beginning we're having fun, we enjoy it. It's not an issue in the beginning of the relationship. And then all of a sudden...
Because he's financially taking care of you, he's catering to your fucking corny ass fetish of a man actually giving a shit, and you know those things that the Chad and all of them didn't do. They plowed you, gave you a couple bucks, and threw you to the fucking side. And this man's actually showing care and concern, so you like it, but you weren't trained to love it. So once you get it too much, you're like, yo, this shit don't even feel right no more. I don't even. What's wrong with me? You need to get your back blown out by Chad. You need to get fucked by the nigga you want to get fucked by. You need to go on a date with the dude you want to go on a date with, but you can't. You're older now. And those guys are probably married or, you know, doing whatever they're doing. And you don't want to blow your cover. So you cheat on the side or you fucking just go catatonic and just say, fuck it, this is life now. What do you mean this is life now? Let this man have some sex on the side, and I don't know about you, like you gave up on sex, remember? You sit there and be happy with the kingdom and the fucking children and shut the fuck up.
It's,
Sound of horns.
well, it's my past with men before I met you, or it was my relationship with my dad, or I have really low self-esteem and
Nobody
I don't
wanna
really
hear that
know
shit, Sharif.
what I like, and just all these stories.
It was my past. How many men have you been with? Why they don't answer? Because if you ever find out that fucking number, she can never use these dumbass excuses on you. You'll look at her like, wait up, you had a troubled past, but you fucked 100 niggas, you sucked fucking 80 dicks, but now you don't want to suck my dick. You sucked their dick for free. I put a ring on it and gave you a house. And you don't want to give me head. What the fuck is wrong with women? That's the shit you fake it for until you're dead. Or let them cheat. What the fuck?
Start coming up out of nowhere, and the sad part is because good men want to believe their wives, they see the good
Yeah, it's
in
the whole
us,
point of getting married.
is then they fall for these stories.
No, we don't.
Or the story of, well,
If you fucking women don't think we've already talked to our partner that got divorced or cheated on, and dog, we know the signs. We love you, we want to fucking keep our children together. Once we stop loving you, well, we're best friends and shit. We fucking got married, death do us part type shit. Let me get some butt on the side and stop playing around, and you go and do the fuck what you want to do. You do what you want to do, you won already, you trapped me, now let me go do what I do. No babies, no diseases, only condoms, whatever the fuck. You choose the chick. You know what I mean? Y'all do that. Because we all know women get a little, you know, when you bring one of them ones they ain't think you can get, then they, you know, he pulled that? Now I gotta get him away from her. This nigga might leave me. No. That's what yous do. When we get what we want, we go, holy shit, I can't believe I got this. I'm the fucking king of the world. I don't need anything else in the world. I don't even know I'm gonna go to work anymore.
and I need you to meet me in a different place now. I need you to start
I need you to meet me
doing
halfway.
this technique or that technique, or can we read this book together? I've changed and I need it to look, sex to look different now.
Ain't nothing wrong with
And
that.
good men will fall
If
for
you
that.
ain't
That's
lying.
where I went, and I've shared a little bit about
Oh,
that
you
in the
lying?
last couple of videos where I
Oh.
had my husband reading all these books with me. We went to couples counseling, and I made it this.
Wasting more of this means, yeah, we mean to go to couple therapy and read 50 Shades of Grey and shit, and then maybe I get turned on and they stop wasting my money. You're done. You're out the game. I'm not out the game. I still got a couple of fucking quarters in me, dog. This is the fourth quarter, but we're gonna tie the game and we're gonna play at least fucking 3 ties. We're going 2 extra quarters out here. Can we be men? You know, if you're gonna be those type of women, why can't we be these type of men and everybody be happy at the end of the day?